a couple of big things standing out for me. I mean, one is that obvious one that you pointed out, the projected outcomes, and really it's not even about, there's a subtle nuance between projected outcomes and attachment to projected outcomes.
Yes, that's right.
Because actually we can absolutely imagine what we would love to happen, and imagine what we'd like to create, and imagine how we think we could be in the world, or what we think we could do, and that's all fine. And then the self gets involved and goes, oh yeah, I'll be all right then, I'll be okay when that happens, and so it gets entangled within it. And which is fine, because as you experienced, when it then doesn't come off, and it doesn't, that world isn't revealed, and which it can't be, like from that thinking of I need it, it's just not going to happen.
It's not the way it works. That's not the way the universe works, I don't think.
And so that rebuttal is like it's the wake-up call to go, no, look, you've got tangled in this little self.
Absolutely.
And it's it's the gift of it, really.
It is, and I think you're absolutely right. It's a very important point, the difference between a projected outcome and the attachment to the projected outcome. I think that's key, because it's the attachment.
And we can never really know. Like you said, you weren't doing that activity knowingly, consciously thinking, oh good, look what's going to come at the end of this.
No, it wasn't like that.
And so that's why I'll often say, like, there's no point. Sometimes we can really tell when there's a nickiness to our action, when there's a selfness to our action. Sometimes we can really feel it, and we can feel like if we're thinking about messaging somebody back, and we can feel there's a subtext to it, or we can feel there's like a passive aggressiveness to it. Sometimes you can catch it in the moment. But sometimes we can't, like you said at the start of that, sometimes it's really subtle how the self, and perhaps even it's not there at the start, and it gradually, sneaks in there as you're going along. Oh, this could be it. This is looking hopeful. This might save us. This might secure us.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
Yeah. And really it's the brilliance that there's nothing out there will secure us, which sounds terrible to the self. That sandbank's flailing around going, what do you mean nothing will secure me? But there isn't anything that will secure that sandbank self ever.
No. Is there any true, is there a source of security anywhere?
The awareness that we are is the only stable, constant, secure thing. So our true nature, that's the only thing that doesn't come and go. And it's not even a thing, but it's that's the only permanence. That's the only reliable. Literally every single other thing, thoughts, feelings, sensations, people, objects, photo projects, every other thing comes and goes. And that's always been the trouble, because the self has tried to secure itself in those things, whether they're at the level of sandbank, if I just do the right thinking, or whether they're at the level of content at the bottom, if I could just do that next piece of work brilliantly. It's always trying to secure itself in what is inherently insecure.